Hi everyone, I'm Bárbara Moreira and this is Deprogram Yourself, my brand new YouTube channel, and you are super welcome. I am really thrilled, very excited really to be starting this new journey with you. I've been working with YouTube but in Portuguese in my pre-existing YouTube channel, which is called Desprograme-se for almost 10 years now. And I felt it was time to expand my work and the message of deprogramming for people who don't understand Portuguese. So welcome, and if you are one of my Brazilian followers, you know what to do, right? Let's start sharing this content with your gringo friends as soon as possible to help them get the message as well. Now, let's address the main issue here, which is what the heck is deprogramming and why don't I tell people to reprogram themselves like every life coach or even lots of spiritual teachers or law of attraction gurus do? Basically because this does not work. I mean, it can work for a little while, but eventually you will go back to where you were before. Follow me on this one, okay? It's Sunday night. You're feeling unmotivated, a bit down. You've been scrolling through social media feeds and seeing all sorts of people doing all sorts of stuff, and they really seem to know what they're doing, or at least they are getting a great number of views, which seems to be paying their bills, right? But you don't look that fancy. You don't look that smart. You don't look that popular. You don't look that fit or whatever. And these thoughts, they get so heavy that they start to take a toll on you, but you don't notice that this is happening. Actually, you don't even see that these thoughts are doing that. You're really unaware of your thoughts at this moment because you perceive these things as reality. And you would say, but these people are doing better than I am. This is real. I'm not in a good financial place. I'm not in a good health condition, a great health condition, for example, or in a good shape, or in a good relationship with my family, partner. I'm not imagining those things, okay? And if I don't figure out my life right now, I will be in real trouble soon, meaning tomorrow, Monday. So now you're feeling pressured, unworthy, and confused because you should be doing many things or at least one big thing that will help you change your undesired reality. And you look at yourself and you realize that you are not able to act when you are feeling this tired or sad or even guilty, right? So for you to stand tall and take action, you have to feel better inside first. So you will now start trying to motivate yourself. And this is when things can get tricky and really mislead you. You will now start trying to get positive. Like, yeah, let's change this mood. Let's reprogram to say, let's try to change this inner state to a better one. A state of a winner, an achiever, a confident person, somebody who is fearless, who is bold, or maybe even attractive if this is what you're aiming for. So in order for you to feel this confident, you kind of guess, I will need to have an inner dialogue that cooperates, right? So immediately you start telling yourself things like, you can do it. You're great. There's no need to worry. You're loved. You will succeed. And all these positive affirmations can get you pumped. They help you put yourself in a better mood, so you will go to bed believing that tomorrow this winner will make it. And so you start your week feeling really pumped and even excited with an almost warrior-like feeling. Now let me ask you something. For how long do you think it's possible to keep this warrior-like or achiever state, this winner excitement? For how long do you really think it will be sustainable? This can be effective to make you get up and fight, but if you stay in a fighting mode throughout your day, you will get exhausted, like really fast. And also, when you are in a fighting mode or an exciting mode and you don't see yourself winning or being fulfilled back with excitement by your environment or others, you will get immediately frustrated. So you'll be oscillating from the hero or the extremely happy person to the opposite side of the spectrum, which is a loser, a defeated one. So don't get me wrong here. It is effective and really positive to get pumped, get excited with things. I am in my nature an extremely excited person, guys. I find inspiration in almost everything. I am a Sagittarius, so I go for the brass ring and stuff, but some emotional states are only there to provide us this punctual energy and not to be our emotional basis throughout our day or even through our lives. So I'm not saying you shouldn't get excited or try to boost your energy by motivating yourself. This is awesome. I am really passionate, but what I want you to realize is something that is a game changer for everyone. It was a game changer for me when I realized it, and it's something that goes against most of teachings because, as I said, most of positive thinking teachings or trends are based on programming or reprogramming yourself. They say that your mind is creating stuff, and I don't disagree with that, okay? But what I end up concluding is where I think differently. The conclusion is, if you are creating a crappy reality with your thoughts, you should change them to better ones. But what if we see things in a much simpler but deeper way here? If I am creating a crappy life with crappy thoughts, doesn't this mean that my mind is not something to be trusted? Bear with me for a moment. Actually, be here present with me, okay? My mind creates all kinds of illusions, right? We all agree with this. But with those illusions, I get in poor emotional state. So how come can I trust my mind to create a better state for myself if the mind is the same tool that creates illusions? So basically what people are saying, and if you research for a little while, if you take a little time to make a research, a simple one, you will find out many YouTube videos saying how I brainwashed my mind into being a successful person, how I brainwashed myself into being an achiever, into becoming an attractive person, and so on. What do you think about this approach? Do you really think you have to brainwash yourself? That this is the only way or this is the best way? Don't you want to be really conscious? Don't you want to be really aware of reality, of what's going on? Because if you are awake, truly awake, your mind can't deceive you or play tricks on you, and you won't need to be a slave of mental techniques in order to get results. But they will come naturally. And this is what I feel deeply. And this is how I live my life. This is how I was able to take myself out of mental illusions that were keeping me imprisoned in bad relationships, in bad places financially, places that were not good for me, and many other bad and actually dangerous situations. You're not your mind. You don't have to brainwash yourself. You don't have to go through life in an everyday, exhausting, never-ending fight between good thoughts and bad thoughts, uplifting thoughts and low-frequency thoughts. Just give yourself a break and start connecting with your true self, where every solution, every answer, help, and all the creative juices really come from. What I really love about my Portuguese brand is that, well, in English, I had no other option, okay, than to call it Deprogram Yourself, which is the literal translation of it. But in Portuguese, I call it, the name of it is Desprograme-se. And the reason I'm telling you this is because it is so beautiful. And it was a channeled brand and logo. I didn't make any research. As I said, I live my life connecting with things that exist beyond the mind level. And there it was, lying my brand, Desprograme-se. So, ame-se means love yourself. So, in Portuguese, when you say Desprograme-se, it's saying deprogram yourself and love yourself at the same time. So, it's really beautiful. And this is what I want for you here. Don't treat yourself as something so limited. The mind is a precious tool, but how can it be who you are or even define it? Let's go back to the beginning of this video so we can make our conclusions and wrap up all the stuff we saw here today, okay? Instead of comparing yourself to other people and naming your results as bad, and then seeing yourself as not perfect, and bringing yourself down, and then trying to lift yourself up desperately, why don't you just cut through this BS and just stop your mind when you realize it is working in a programmed way? Because, my dear ones, this is what a program is. Your mind is creating all these assumptions, conclusions, therefore resulting in patterns of emotions and feelings because it was set to do it without you, without your approval or agreement. You probably were too young and you saw many people doing these unconscious things. You probably saw your parents acting in a programmed way, your colleagues, even your teachers. We are all programmed in unconscious levels to perceive our lives and ourselves in unrealistic forms. So the way to go is not to try to create good illusions instead of creating bad illusions. And you are not what you believe in. It seems to be this way when we are dealing with ourselves in a mind level. You see? If the mind is the only thing you're able to reach, of course, then let's create some good illusions, believe in them, and they may result in some good achievements. If you think this is the way. If you think life is about looking for achievements and programming your mind feels natural to you, then no problem. It is, of course, much better to believe in good stuff than to believe in bad stuff, right? But I don't know if you have eventually noticed at some point, life will force you to release your beliefs, even in good stuff. Let's say you believe in your relationship as being something unbreakable. We all have been there, right? Let's say you are a parent and you really created a belief system around, if I am a great parent now, I will be taken care of by my son in the future. But then your son moves to another place and never comes back or even stops talking to you. You're being forced to release these beliefs and see life as it is. Do you really want to be creating beliefs with your mind, attaching yourself to them and suffering to let them go? Aren't you tired of being in a never-ending fight? Don't you feel you could be so much more and do so much more if you just tapped into the source itself? Another question for you here, don't you feel people are mechanical and shallow these days? And that real friends are rare to find? And why is it like that? It's just because a real friend is somebody that is not trying to make you do stuff for them. A real friend is just there, not judging your decisions as good or bad, not forcing you. And is a person with whom you can flow, you can be spontaneous, unpredictable, just be who you are. And things just seem to happen, or even when good things don't happen, you can still call this connection a perfect one. So my friends, this is what I want your connection with yourself to be. And this is just the beginning of many, many things that will be addressed here in an honest, direct, and simple way to help you free yourself from mind patterns and imprisonment. Just quit trying to program or reprogram yourself unless you are a robot, okay? Get rid of the BS and let your real self arise. Life will be much more joyful, meaningful, and simple. This is my promise to you, and this is what deprogramming is. Thank you. See you in the next video.